Hello golfers, and welcome to the Jess Frank Golf Academy YouTube channel. Today, the 3 fundamentals of golf. It's something that I teach every day here at the beautiful Deer Creek Golf Club here in Deerfield Beach, Florida. And it helps golfers get better immediately and kind of get rid of all the excess noise and information, which there is a ton of out there. But if you break it down into these 3 fundamentals that apply to all the greatest players in the world that have ever played the game, you can get better at golf faster, because then you focus in and hone in on what really matters in the game. And so, number 1 fundamental of golf, the most important, is contact. I see people are always, thinking about different things in their swing, when what happens is that they're not making good contact into the club face. They're hitting above the ball, they're hitting the ground behind the ball, they're hitting the heel, they're hitting the toe, they're hitting anywhere except into these, middle of the face, into the grooves here. And so what happens when you do that, when you hit in the toe or the heel or you hit top of it, it becomes an inconsistent game. So you have to learn how to make solid contact every time. You have to learn how to strike the ground in the same spot every single time. That's what the best players in the world constantly do. They do it every day, every tournament. Rarely do you see the best players in the world chunk the ball, whiff the ball, top the ball, and it's so important to be able to do this, and just the simple fundamental of that: before grip, before stance, before alignment, before posture, you have to be able to strike the ground in the same spot every single time. So if I was going to measure the level of player, if I walked into let's say a local restaurant or a hotel and I handed a golf club, a 7-iron, to everybody that came in to the place that I was at, and I would say, okay, let's see if you can hit the ground in the same place 3 times in a row. I guarantee you that 90% plus would not be able to do that simple task or fundamental. So if the best players in the world can do it, and there's hundreds of them out there, not thousands of great players out there, then you can do it too. And so you keep it simple. So you say, okay, let's have a practice session where we just start with little swings and strike the ground in the same spot every single time. Okay. Once you're able to do that, once you're able to hit little shots like that, for instance, like, let's go ahead and I'll hit a little shot out there for us. Okay. Once you're able to do that every time, strike the ball in the center of the face, hit the ground in the same spot. If you can do that, let's say 5, 10 times in a row on a little swing, you'll see what will happen is you'll start to hit the ball high enough on the face, high enough on the grooves to use the loft to get the ball into the air. Okay, so not you trying to help the ball up in the air. You're hitting a shot where that club, you're swinging the golf club where it hits the ground in the right spot, lined up correctly, and then that ball pops up in the air. So that's number 1. So we can do it on a small swing, and then we progressively go a little bigger. Okay. There's number 2. So I hit that one about 75, 80 yards, but I'm using a 7-iron here. So this is number 1, is contact. So if you can produce the same contact every time, let's hit another one here. Let's go for a little bigger swing now. So now I can make a bigger swing. And I hit it again. Same thing. So I keep making contact over and over and over again. And I see in golfers that I instruct that this is the biggest thing they don't realize. I'll use video. I use video in all my lessons, and a lot of times I'll get comments like, well, I'm not hitting the ball, I'm not hitting the ball solid, so my head must be coming up, or I might be too quick, or I have too much grip pressure. And in all actuality, that's happening is they're hitting the ball in the heel every time, or the toe, or they're hitting it thin, so they don't realize where they're hitting the ball in the face. So this is such an important aspect of the game. So now I'll take a little bigger swing. Okay. So hit that one a little farther, but same thing. I hit the ball up in the air, went towards my target. You know, I made good contact with the ground. I didn't miss the ball. I didn't top it. I didn't hit off the heel. So I'm able to do this time and time again. And so this is the baseline level of getting into the game. This is where you need to be able to perform these fundamental tasks. And number one is definitely hitting the ground in the same spot every single time. With good contact. So I'll do it again, a little bigger swing now. So I'm able to hit it out there again. So you can see that you know, you don't have to be on the PGA Tour or LPGA Tour to perform this basic fundamental. So if you're able to train yourself to do this, then you're going to get better at golf faster. Okay, so the next thing we look at is fundamental number 2 is power. Okay, you hit the ball far enough to play a golf course. So it's great. I mean, I could chip a ball around the course. I could just chip balls around the golf course. Okay, but you know, it would take me 120 shots to get around the golf course, and of course we don't want that. I mean, I'd hit a lot of solid shots, but they just won't go far enough. So let's make sure that we can hit the ball far enough. Now, you don't have to hit the ball as far as Dustin Johnson or Bryson DeChambeau or, you know, these crazy lengths they're hitting now on the course. They, you know, if you hit a 7-iron, you know, between 130 and 150 yards, you can pretty much play any golf course, and you can hit it solid. So power. So again, I'm going to go ahead now. I have fundamental number 1 of hitting the ground in the same spot every time. Now I'm going to make a little bigger swing and hit the ball a little farther. So I was able to hit the ball farther there. So I was able to hit the ball 140, 150 yards there with the 7-iron. I'm not trying to hit the ball as far as I can, but I'm making a swing now that I hit the ball solid, and I hit the ball with some power. So I'm able to play pretty much any golf course out there. I'm not going to play a course at 7,500 yards. That would be silly. So my courses that I play usually in the 65, 6,600 yard range. For me, I can hit my driver about 270 to 300 yards. So I hit the ball far enough to play the game. Okay. And number 3, the third fundamental is accuracy. So you want to be able to put the ball or control the curve. And this is the number 1 fundamental contact, number 2 fundamental power. The tour players, the best players in the world, do those no problem. They hit the ball solid enough, they hit the ball far enough. For number 3, it's controlling the curve and understanding, you know, how do you control the curve? Well, you have to learn how to control the club face. Okay, so the club face on every golf club is built with offset. So if I put this little, and I look right through here, there's offset in here. See that right there? I can see right through that little gap right there. So there's offset. So every golf club is built with offset. That means the face is closed to the shaft, okay? So when I hit a straight ball, I'm able to keep the face closed to the shaft, okay? So the ball, if I keep the face open to the shaft, okay, that ball would go to the right every single time. If I overclose the face, the ball is going to go to the left every time. So you're learning how to control the face in your golf swing, the club head. You're controlling the face, the club head, and you're learning how to manage that. A lot of that comes in your wrist and arms. Some has to relate to the grip a little bit. But, you know, again, if you simplify the game into 3 concepts: contact, striking the ground in the same spot every single time; power, hitting the ball far enough. Okay, before you leave fundamental number 1, though, you must master fundamental number 1, because you can swing as hard as you want, but if you miss the ball, you don't hit it solid, it doesn't matter how hard you swing. So creating solid contact every time. Number 2, power, swinging with enough speed to hit the ball solid every time. And number 3, direction, how to control the club face. So a lot of that simply is that, okay, if I'm hitting the ball to the right every single time, I need to get for a right-handed golfer, I need to get that face a little bit more close to the shaft. If I'm pulling the ball to the left every time, I need to redirect the face, maybe get a little bit more square, slightly open. So that's how you kind of start to, play the game. And then you can eliminate all these other thoughts and confusion out there that makes the game so unpredictable sometimes. Because what we want is predictability. So again, my name's Jess Frank. I've been teaching this game for over 20 years. Love helping you play better golf. So if you really like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button, leave a comment. I really appreciate it. All your support, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.